Hello and welcome to Oracle Storytelling. I am Sarah of Sarah Wing Intuitive Arts. You can find my arts at sarahwingintuitivearts.com. You can find me here on YouTube doing Oracle Storytelling and other videos. You can learn about my art and my process also on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook and on Instagram. So, welcome to today. It is currently June 2024. If you're stumbling upon this at another time, that's great. And you can just know that it once was June of 2024. It's a great month. Some wonderful people have birthdays this month. It's my birthday month. So today we're going to talk about transition. We're going to talk about the internal transition and how we kind of work with it externally. We're going to talk about color. We're going to talk a little on astrology, pull out the cards, and yeah, so let's get into it. If it's your first time here, I always kind of point out what I'm wearing, kind of the reason. So today, I normally don't wear red, but I have a couple little red tank tops on here, and I'm leaning into this Aries energy. So I looked at my phone before I jumped on, and I saw that we have Mars conjunct the moon at 25 degrees Aries, which I find really interesting because Aries is like a very like go aggressive energy, hence like the red, the red, bold, like very bold, fearless. It can get kind of cocky sometimes, so that's like kind of a shadow thing. But then you have Mars, and Mars is like war, go, charge, dominate energy. And then you have the moon, and the energy of the moon, or there's a kind of unconscious, like processing in the unconscious, like things in our energy field that we haven't seen, either experienced within ourselves or experienced through any kind of knowing, whether that's external or some type of clair being activated, like a psychic sense. But I think it's really interesting that these two are conjunct, sitting right there to 25 degrees Aries, both of them. We have this very like aggressive, let's go energy with this unconscious. So it's kind of this extremely extrovert and this very introvert energy. And what's so clever about it to me is, sometimes we can do things that are unconscious to us that get revealed to us later, and then we find understanding. Or sometimes we just charge and then figure out why later. But both can really be energies of both. It's just interesting in that way, where both can be a way that we act that we don't understand all the reasoning behind until we kind of unpack it later, until we get a little self-reflective. So when I see this combination, it brings an awareness to there are things that we just don't know. And a rule in general, if you're a sensitive person, empathic person, a person that chooses kindness, really lean into that kindness towards others, but of course, first and foremost, yourself. There could be things that are really going to explode and be revealed, but we've got this very it can come out like it could be a very egoic, like aggressor energy, and it could even be kind of scooted along with the unconscious the unconscious unknowing, the unconscious things that haven't bubbled up in our psyche yet from the moon. So I say just kind of lean into kindness, just because it's an interesting combination of these energies. I think there could be a lot of things we could be a bit blind to right now. And if you're like me, you absolutely, I mean, I love a mystery. I'm very comfortable being in like this state of mystery or void space, this unknowing. Because quite frankly, most things I don't want to have to figure out. No, I know what I need to know in that moment. I'm not saying I live in a state of inaction. I planned for this to some degree, but just wanted to bring that into someone's awareness, your awareness, if this resonates. Aside from that, we have Chiron in Aries at 22 degrees. So I'm not an astrologer, but that's close enough to me to what I'm talking about to contemplate that if you're feeling extra sensitive right now, if you're feeling extra sensitive and wanting to kind of tackle it or get on top of it, I think that's beautiful. But just again, kind of an air of caution towards if your actions are towards yourself or seeking guidance or counseling from a friend or professional about a healing process with Chiron, wounded healer, or if it's kind of like confrontational, you know, you're feeling very confrontational, or there's a lot of aggression towards somebody that's currently hurting you or has hurt you in the past. So I just kind of, again, give that caution to, you know, go for it, work on your healing. That's beautiful. And if you can, do that for yourself and with yourself or people that you trust and can support you. Of course, if this is a situation of abuse, if you're, you know, able to get out, wonderful. If you have to kind of metaphorically draw a sword and take a stand, that could also be something happening now. And, you know, my heart goes out to you. That's something we all have to do in life. Oh my gosh, I just went on and on. So I kind of mentioned the color and why I'm wearing the color today. I've got a bracelet I just acquired that was my grandmother's. This costume jewelry, this beautiful pearls here, which I think are the color of like a mother goose tail, like the goose that laid the golden egg. So I kind of think like it's a beautiful, lucky thing. And just more gold here. And ruby and kyanite, which I always think of follow your bliss. So yes, so today we are, as a card just pops out already, I want to talk about when you're in transitioning. We're always transitioning, right? But what is on my mind now is this idea of how much really happens internally and how much we conduct in our, you know, our orchestra of life that we're conducting is so internal in so many ways. And sometimes I feel like, you know, we get a little lost in that. Like when we're shaping what we feel is, you know, our emotional state, our, you know, leaning into checking in how our body feels, how we feel, how we're sleeping, how we're you know, kind of if we're obsessing, all these things. And sometimes we're really understanding that we're focused on these things. But then the external transitions come up and we can lose sight sometimes of how much we've done, how far we've come, and how much we have to celebrate, and understand that we are ready for the next transition. Because in one part, we understand how many changes we've made, what we've done. You know, there's a conscious record of the time that we've spent on whatever our focus or focuses have been that have changed us internally and allow us to feel more aligned, make healthier choices, choices with our highest ethics, choices, you know, in interactions and speaking to people. We notice that we're just better at interacting with people, or whatever the case may be. We have more energy because maybe we stopped doing one thing and were like a hermit for a while and then picked up a new thing. But yeah, like this idea that we lose sight of that sometimes. And then when a big external thing happens, like a new job, or you're moving somewhere new, or all these little obvious pin things, right? Like life pins, these little life pins, like a new relationship, a new partnership of some kind, whatever it is. Sometimes we suddenly, our head gets kind of thrown for a loop, and we're just sent off, and we're not really, we forget in that moment how ready we are, even if we didn't know that that person was coming in our life, that job was coming in our life, that move was coming in our life. That's like the co-creation part. So we're bringing in these actions that we feel called to take for ourselves, to know ourselves more, to align ourselves more, to bring, invite in more joy, more gratefulness, invoke a sense of ecstasy, of pleasure, whatever it's from. And we need to remember the other side is life, and whether you call that by a certain deity's name, or the universe, or just life, it's setting up, it's kind of like setting, it's like we're in the house, okay, life's got a little campground, and it's like setting up the tent, and it's staking down the stakes, right? It's preparing a place for us, again, whether that's whatever the next thing that just popped up that we didn't know about, but ultimately we've been preparing for. So a card just popped out and says, you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. So yeah, okay, this is exactly so this is a Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle. But this is exactly what I was just talking about, so that's perfect. I mean, it's really interesting, because if I look at this card, what comes to mind first is, so yeah, you're already doing it, right? You've already done it. That's the idea, is like you forget because something in front of you doesn't look, you go, oh, I haven't done that before. I haven't lived in that place before, worked that job before. I haven't met that person before. I haven't written that book before, like whatever it is, right? But you're already doing it. And a lot of times we've already done it. I mean, so here's this person on a precipice, and she's staring out, he, she, whatever, is staring out at this void. And they look pretty calm, pretty composed, but at the same time, I mean, they're facing, it's saying facing your true north. So if you think of this new thing that you're not ready for, or you have to get ready for, the idea being you're already ready for it. If you think of this as like something that you've already like kind of booked a ticket for, it's already there for you. It's been waiting for you. Instead of going, oh my God, like if I step in there, what's going to happen? Like, is there a trap door? Like, am I just going to keep falling? Okay, I see pink and glitter. Is that a good thing? Is this soft and comfy? Is it, or is it sticky like cotton candy? Like, am I prepared? Did I wear the right shoes? And did I right. But if you notice, so this is like what you've already gone through, what you've walked through. So you've already navigated and tracked. You already know the path. That's kind of the thing I'm reading here, is like, girl, you already get the map, okay? You already did the GPS, okay? And then you took the walking tour, and you went in the magical forest, and you trekked on your own adventure, and you got this. Like, you absolutely have this. Not just you have it, you've already done it. You've gone through so much, navigated so many different types of terrain too, that this is really not, it's not necessarily new terrain. It's just like the metaphorical doorknob that you've been heading towards. Opportunity knocks, and then you answer the door, right? the door. All right. So I want to talk about that. And then if you're familiar, I have these cards that I got off an Etsy site. And I'm going to do something with color here because they're very colorful. If you know Schitt's Creek and you know the character Moira Rose, you might get more of a kick out of it. But generally speaking, if you don't know the show or the character, Moira Rose is an actress on this show. She plays an actress on the show. But her character's based on, I think, this just extremely fashionable, eccentric woman who I think was just like in the scene, I'm guessing in New York City or something. But just highly eccentric, very fashionable, just wildly interesting woman. Wildly interesting woman. I like that. So what I want to do is for a state of remembrance, because I feel like, you know, I started talking about the Mars conjunct the moon. So we have this active knowing of like, go, we're going, we're, you know, war, we're charging. And then the moon of like, we might be doing actions, but we're in an unconscious state right now. It has not been revealed to us what we're really doing. It reminds me of the other thing, which is, you know, maybe we've, you know, to invest in ourselves and make these internal changes that align us with the next things that we don't know about, but we're completely preparing for. We use some of this Mars energy, you know. We had to take a little trek by ourselves. We had to use our GPS to find the magical forest. Then we had to go into the magical forest. And we had to go through all this little terrain, all kinds, the kinds we like and the kinds we don't like, and the happy weather we like and the weather we don't like. Okay? And then I feel like this is kind of the moon here. You know, it's these moments that, sure, we don't know what the outcome or day-to-day is going to be like in this new thing for us. But at the same time, we're still, you know, we didn't turn around. We're still facing that next step. And even though it's, you know, it's unconscious to us at this moment, right? This is one of those like leap of faith things, where we don't know, even though, again, we've been creating this pathway, walking this pathway to end up here. So we do know, we know a lot. Okay. We actually know a lot, and we're very prepared. But the co-creation here of the universe is like, all right, you're going to do all this, and then here's your door. And part of it is like, we don't know what this is. And part of that is kind of a control thing too, because yeah, we don't know what it is. We didn't have to create that. The universe created that based on what we've been activating, you know, what we shut down in our actions and what we've activated, you know, what's active in our field, what archetypes are active in us, what are we attracting, what are we repelling, and all of that. This journey has probably taken a while. It's probably been a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, whatever it is. All of our work has created this door. The universe, like, is just throwing all these things in a beautiful universal cauldron or universal Milky Way and stirring it up. And it made this magic door. So that sense of control thing where we're like, oh, I don't know what it is. We don't have to, you know, listen, we did our half of the invention. We said exactly what we wanted by doing this inner work. And the universe is like, okay, I mixed it up. Boom, souffle. I don't know how a souffle works, so that's probably a bad metaphor, but, you know, mix it up, and we're nervous, but it's exactly, do you know what I mean? We know, even though we don't know. The universe knows, And we've known this whole time. We just kind of forget or get nervous because the universe, how could the universe be so wise and so kind? That's for some of you. Okay. So what I want to do is get a card for color. One of these Moira Rose cards. Love it. And then I'll look up this color and I'll learn a little bit about some tips of how we can navigate this transitional time. Well, let's see. Interesting. The word is bebe. A bebe. This is your bebe, Jocelyn, and an artistic cradle robber. I am not. Bebe. So, I'm using Dougal Fraser's Your Life in Color, and I'm going to see if he has black or white as one of the chapters. Yes. So white is the second chapter, so I'm going to go to the second chapter. Okay. So the qualities of white. So this is to help us with everything I've been talking about. The qualities of white are spiritual cleansing and clarity. We love clarity. And remember, with this transition, whatever it is, we actually are very clear in terms of we've done so much. But now we're handed this key to a door. And it's our door. That's the thing. It's not anyone else's door. It's for us. So spiritual cleansing and clarity. Maybe your spiritual practice just deepen a bit more to provide a sense of safety, security, whatever it may be. So a shadow side of white is feeling overwhelmed by responsibility, having difficulty releasing clutter. So when it says feeling overwhelmed by responsibility, that goes back to you've been responsible this whole time. You've taken care of this. You don't have to feel overwhelmed by responsibility. You've done it, okay? And you're going to keep walking and treading a new path once you go through this door. You don't have to feel overwhelmed. You can drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Because the universe has you here. This next step is literally nothing that you have to do. You just have to walk into it. And then when the next thing happens, whatever the thing is, you address that. You react responsibly to that, okay? But all you have to do, this next transition, is literally walk through it. You don't have to make the door. Somebody hands you the key. You just have to show up, and guess what? You're already there. So you don't even have to move. You just have to walk right through there, or leap, or whatever you want to do. So that's great. What else about white? How positive. All right. Let's see. Okay, so white is a really easy color to work with. Symbolizes purity. Kundalini 3 times. Yogis wear white cotton caps to help expand their auras while they practice mindfulness. That's nice. While using white, we intend to create a fresh start in whatever we focus on. Look at that fresh start through that door. Love it. White represents a new chapter and a set of intentions, creating a sense of clarity in our lives. Hello. Right here. Right here. Beautiful. Let's see. What else is striking me here? Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. So I would just say in general, so sense of clarity. Sometimes it's hard for us to feel clear. Well, our clairs. If you work with tarot or oracle cards, if you love those cards like me, sometimes I don't know if you've ever been OCD about like I got to keep asking. A great tip is to invoke a spirit guide. You can invoke them by name. You could have a loved one that's crossed over. Pick a card for you. You can call in your higher self, have your higher self pick a card for you. You don't need to know anyone's name either. You can literally just invoke the ancestors, whatever really resonates. You know, I've used all of the above. My go-to is kind of higher self. And then people or animals that have crossed over I've also called upon them. And you'll know the difference if you're compulsively wanting clarity, when it's like an OCD, you keep drawing, or asking everybody else in the world. Compare what you get in those cards to calling in, say, your higher self. You're asking your higher self to give you a card, even if you don't even define the card. You could be at your wit's end trying to figure stuff out. Just ask your higher self for a card, and it will be a remarkably different card. It will be very loving and kind. So, big transitions, but that's beautiful. And again, it's a wonderful month for birthdays. And say you're watching this not in June, it's also a wonderful month for birthdays. But I wish you the best on this upcoming transition. And I think all you really have to do is walk right through that door, whatever that door is. You don't have to build the door. You can really set down your tools. If you have any kind of knowing, and it doesn't even have to make sense. You don't have to put a name to it, whatever. If you have any kind of internal knowing, and it's about a transition, trust in that. Trust in yourself. Absolutely trust in yourself. Even if it's terrifying, you are the absolute best person for guidance about who you are, where you need to go, who you want to be. And it's really going to help align you with internal responses that give you healthy guidance, external responses that give you clarity through action. And it's going to help you notice the things you do in everyday life that bring you joy, and things that bring you joy when you're interacting with other people. And that helps bring clarity to life purpose. People always ask, what's my life purpose? Well, your life purpose, for most people, it's not going to be, a career. Everybody talks about that. But it's the things that bring you joy in life. What brings you joy? What brings you joy that you bring to other people? What makes you the happiest when you're interacting with other people? What brings you joy? That's your life purpose. And it is, in the end, it's going to be as uncomplicated as doing nothing but taking a few steps through a doorway that, look, this one, it's not even locked. I don't even need a key. It's open. You know what? Screw that. Exactly. Your door is open. All you have to do is walk through it. And it's literally your door. Okay? So it's for you. And if you're worried about someone else not coming along, let's say their door is here. Okay? So if they're not up here right now, that's okay. That's their path, and they'll find their door, and it's okay. And I'm sure there's a brunch spot in the back where you and this person can meet in the future if they find their way to their door, for whoever that's for. And for those traveling, because I have two friends traveling, one's going to wave to Nessie and one is going to say, "What's up, Semket?" Anybody traveling right now, I would say just same thing. Walk through those doors. You're in beautiful harmony with the co-creation of life. And if you're traveling, just travel. Trust where you're heading, and just walk through those doors. Until next time, you are beautiful. You're absolutely loved. You have blessings upon blessings of innate worth. Trust yourself. Have beautiful transitions. And until next time.